When did you realize your friend was toxic? When I realized I felt dread every time their message icon popped up. I feel you there. Every time my phone text sound goes off and I look at certain names I cringe a little. But mostly just for people from work. If you feel that way about a friend or significant other, major red flag. Nah, trust me, you don't wanna ask her out, she's just a hoe. He then proceeded to try it on with her. She told me she was cheating on her husband, while laughing about how funny it was that her boyfriend would come over to the house and hang out with her husband and her and their newborn. After I told her that wasn't cool and we weren't friends anymore, she told everyone that I was sleeping with her husband and an abusive drunk. No to all. Happy ending: dad divorced and got full custody. I got new friends. I lived with her and realized one day on the way home from work that I had more anxiety about going home to her than anything else in my life. She also tried to shit talk about me to my boyfriend. Oh my god. It sounds terrible to be afraid to go back to your home because your so-called friend is waiting there for you. I assume that you moved out? Yes. I moved out, and about an hour away from her, and I feel so much better. What makes it worse, better, is that she hasn't really contacted me since I moved out, even though I left on good terms. She doesn't realize she's a bad friend and a toxic person, and I don't know if I have the guts to tell her. I was considering suicide and he was encouraging me to do it. That's just awful. Who the fuck does that? When she lied about having cancer.
When my friend would never criticize himself for his mistakes. He would always blame others and make others just feel downright useless sometimes. Sounds exactly like my friend. He can never admit he's done something wrong and he keeps blaming others. Toxic. When they stole my Adderall prescription, tried to help me find it. It was stolen during a party we threw, then spent the next few weeks staying up until 8 AM playing FIFA like that was something totally normal. Have you seen my Adderall? No man. I've been awake 27 hours straight alphabetizing the canned goods. HMMMMM. She tricked one of my friends that she was pregnant with their child, and used my phone to do it. She used to steal my phone while I was sleeping and text my friend, guy she hooked up with, pretending to be me, saying shit like is throwing up again this morning and various other pregnancy things to convince the guy. She was not pregnant and 100% knew she wasn't. She tricked one of my friends that she was pregnant with their child. This sounds like a girl I know. A guy I'm friends with got drunk and slept with and made it obvious the next day he regretted it, which made it awkward for everyone. A few weeks later she says she's pregnant and it's possible it's his. Then she said it wasn't his but her ex-boyfriend's. Then she had a miscarriage. She's done this before though. She was living with this guy and his family and said she was pregnant then had a miscarriage. Guy ended up breaking up with her and SHR claimed she had no idea why. Most likely he found out that she was faking it. This is why I never have sex with strangers, or anyone for that matter, also maybe because of my face but yeah. It was something straight out of Single White Female. She started using my frequent phrases, tried to pick up all my hobbies, and started dressing exactly like me. The final straw was when she started getting really possessive when I would hang out with people without her and tried to turn me against all my other friends. We aren't friends anymore, but everyone tells me she's still obsessed with me and talks about how I abandoned her to anyone who will listen. Wow. I had almost the opposite happen to me. The phrase single white female hit me with a little spike of PTSD. A coworker with whom I shared an office and had a similar job completely stopped speaking to me for 2 weeks. My supervisor asked me what was going on and I told her I had no idea. He had just stopped speaking to me. She told me to sort it out. So that afternoon he came into the office and shut the door. He told me that he was getting a creepy stalker vibe, like single white female from me, and asked why I was trying to be like him. I didn't want to be like him at all and asked what he was talking about. He pointed out that I sometimes bring a smoothie for breakfast and he had just bought a Ninja blender. I pointed out that I'd had my magic bullet for 10+ years at that point. He pointed out that I drink tea from a mason jar. I told him that I used to drink it from a Nalgene until I read that heating the plastic will give me cancer, so I used the reusable glass, like every other hipster in the world. He went on to say that when people come into the office, I speak with them, even if they were there to talk to him. Cool, don't speak unless spoken to, that's healthy. Awesome. There were some task-specific things that he brought up too, which turns out were related to poor performance and the fact that he was skimming money out of work funds. His biggest hang-up was that at a company picnic for our participants, he was mad that I told him that he couldn't have a second burger until all of the participants had had a first burger. This was October. The barbecue had been in May. He told me he didn't want this conversation to ruin my weekend by me overthinking it all weekend. He had been thinking about it for 5 months and I couldn't think about it for 3 days? Yikes.